Welcome back to Your Tech Report.
We are back on Your Tech Report. Thank you so much for being along for the ride. If you want to follow along, and you're going to want to follow along on this one, it is at Your Tech Report on all our social media. You may want to head over to YouTube to see what we're talking about if you're not already watching this on YouTube. Right, Mitchell?
Absolutely. And this one is, it's funny, we had this guest on quite recently, Mark. Our next guest, we said we would have back on pretty quickly, but we don't usually mean like within 3 weeks or 4 weeks quickly. But when Michael Cannavo, co-founder of Super73, makers of the best and most amazing electric motorbikes on the planet,
Wow.
when we had him on last time, he said there is some news he wanted to share. He couldn't share it then. New product dropping. So what did he do? He stuck to his word, as he always does. Michael Cannavo joins us today to talk about the latest bike entering the Super 73 lineup. Wow, that was such a great spontaneous intro. Michael Cannavo, welcome back. It's been minutes. How you been, man?
You guys are endlessly sweet. I have a question. If I give you
Sure.
the phone number of my in-laws, will you call them and tell them all those nice things about me as well?
Yeah, give the phone number right now. We'll take care of that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Michael. If they don't know already, that's on them.
They do.
If they don't know how amazing you are already, that's on them. How you doing? Listen, I thank you again. Last time we joked that you were flexing by showing us your schedule. I know your schedule is equally as tight today, so we're gonna be a little more brief because we know you have a lot of meetings going on. Let's get right to it. Whenever Super 73 launches a new bike, that's pretty big news. And you have the bike, not only for people that are listening on SiriusXM, you'll get the description from Michael, but you have the bike visually for our YouTube audience. We are actually going to get to see what is the latest model in the Super 73 lineup.
I do. It is. You will see it with a flip of my fingertip.
Let's see it.
I actually have it on camera, and if we're ready to go, I would like to introduce, and I hope I hit the right camera here. I'd like to introduce everybody to the newest member of the Super 73 family, the Super 73-ZX.
Oh, wow. All right. Thanks for coming, Michael. Good luck with the bike.
Good show.
That
Good show.
is
Thanks for being here.
super73.com. Okay, that is beautiful. So for people that don't know, the Super 73Z, and we've done this before, Michael. I hesitate to call it the entry-level model because that sort of connotes like a lower end, but all of the bikes in the lineup are amazing. But this is the starting point in terms of the bikes, in terms of price, but the feature set is still there. So talk about what this new, the ZX, has as compared to the last Z model, which was a fantastic bike, by the way. I have one here. So how does this one differ?
Yeah, thank you. We obviously love the Z, and there's a lot of love for the Z, but we were getting comments about a few little tweaks we could make, and
Okay.
we're always listening to the comments. I mean, we talked about this before. We talk about how important it is for us to be engaging with our community, understanding what their needs are, and do our best as a company to meet their needs. Now, for the people asking for, a four-wheel electric truck, sorry, we weren't able to do that, but we did do.
I think someone's doing that, yeah.
A bigger, more comfortable and ergonomic version of the Z. So what has changed? Quite a bit, but to give you a little bit of a run over, I have a nice little write-up I put together that is as follows. The Super 73ZX provides accessibility to those with families, urban commutes, errands to run, and weekends to explore. Whether you're barbecuing at the park or dropping the little ones off at school, the Super 73ZX adds adventure, freedom, and excitement to life's everyday tasks.
I love it. I love it. That was spontaneous. It's like
That's
you weren't even reading that, right?
Thank you. Wow. And I'll tell you, we got copy back from a copyright firm that said, whether you're grilling or chilling, this bike will bring you miles of smiles. And
Wow.
I'm so glad I got a chance to share that because I panicked when I read that. I said, who are we?
What did we just pay for?
So yeah,
Wow.
we wrote that right up. So basically, this bike is for middle America, those with families and those without families. But we really wanted to address that market. A lot of parents were like, we want to ride with our kids. We want to have our kids up in front of us. We want to take them on adventures. We need a family bike. A lot of what we do are performance bikes. We do really fast, quick, sharp, rugged, aggressive electric bikes, and we wanted something that would cater to a crowd that didn't need to hit that curb and launch off it the way you're pointing to yourself. Are we meeting your needs?
You're meeting my needs because my daughter constantly is on the bike trying to figure out where to put her legs because she's sitting on the battery of my original S1.
Right.
And I wanted this. Can you throw back to the other image of the bike so I can describe it to the audience that are not watching on YouTube? The one thing you'll notice here is that it's a really elongated, comfortable seat. So you do have room for two people to sit there comfortably. What are the other features on this one, Mike, that are geared towards that family? Of course, obviously the battery position is now under the seat, which is great, so it's still accessible, but it's not in the way. But I could see you could probably get, a dozen people on there?
Oh yeah, at least a dozen, and that's what we're excited about. We started with the seat, and I know that's superfluous to a lot of people, but we wanted to allow a longer commute, and you can add a bigger battery, you can add a bigger motor, but if your body doesn't have the endurance for it, then what are those extra pieces? And so what we did was we created this really, really high cushioned, very high impact density. So it'll allow you to kind of absorb those bumps on the road. It is a completely different build from the original seat, while it does have a lot of the similarities of the Z. Directly below that, you mentioned the battery. So that battery is now removable. On the original,
right, it was built under
Z1,
the seat before, yeah.
That was a big gripe. We thought, hey, let's make a bike that has all-in-one. You get home, you plug it in, which is great for a certain market. But a larger market said, hey, we need to charge the battery. Like, we need to take the battery with us. So now with a key, you're able to pop off that battery, take it into the office, take it into home, and charge it on the go. So it becomes a lot easier to charge and store this thing. And then next would be the bigger motor. So we've actually increased the motor size. We have a internally geared brushless DC hub motor. It's capable of outputting between 1,200 and 1,300 watts of peak power, depending on your ride mode. So basically this is, I'd like to say double the power of that Z1. It is a really capable motor in this bike, and this is all the new gen tech. So this is matching the RX, the S2. This is sort of that same family of motors. And what that allows us to do, pull a lot more torque. And that's really important to us to get our riders off of those red lights faster, up to speeds faster. Most collisions do happen off of the red lights. And so we want to get them out of the way and safe. So this is a way better build for that. Now, additionally, I will like to point out that the ergonomics of this bike have changed. So it does look like a standard Z1, but when you look closer, you put the two side by side, you actually have a taller frame now, as well as it's a little bit more stretched out.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Full pedal extension. And that's anybody who's been a fan of the company for a long time knows that pedal extension has not really been our first priority. With Super 73, we're a throttle first platform, but now we actually have a much more functioning pedal system, which is really fun because this has 4 modes of pedal assist, which means you can extend your battery range, you can extend your mileage without having to worry about that battery anxiety.
What is the battery range on this one?
Yeah. So the battery range, we're looking at an easy 30 plus miles. Now that is, it will vary depending on, ride modes and terrain and rider weight, obviously. But this battery is about twice as big as the previous on the Z1. And it really utilizes the current a lot better. So we are being more mindful of takeoff, more mindful of hey, what is the battery drawing when you're really needing it to draw? And then once it hits, its top speed, how can we leverage the current in the battery to last a little bit longer? Anybody who's using pedal assist is going to find that their range is extremely increased because the ergonomics are so functional. And so we've really taken that into consideration when building this bike. This was truly a bike built from the comment section, which is really exciting for us.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I don't want to gloss over the pedal assist because that is something that the original Z did not have. That was a throttle-only bike, which I loved. And again, that was a purpose-built bike, and I didn't mind because I knew there were other options in the lineup. If I did want the pedal assist, if I wanted to get that, the peppier motor, that was fine. But this seems to be the perfect storm, combining all those things. Like you said, you took the checklist of we want this, we want this, we want this, which is funny because you guys easily could have said, and I'm not trying to be, not nice here, but I mean, you usually could have said to customers, great, if you want that bike, you can buy an S2, you can buy an S1, there are other things in the lineup that will accommodate all the things that you have, because you're not going to get the same thing out of, some one part of a lineup that you will in another, but that was really incredible that you actually are giving people what they want in this bike at a lower price point,
Well, thank you. It's been a long year. It's been a long year of hearing needs from people, and we've really worked hard to, obviously get through COVID, get through the delays, get through the supply chain issues, and come out of it with a product that we think is the perfect product for the perfect time. Americans and people all around the world are getting back out there. That's kind of the big thing of 2021 is get back out there. And this is going to allow them to do that in a really fun, new and exciting way. Maybe the dad that always looked at the bike and said, that bike's got a little bit too much swagger for me. We've heard that comment before. Can you make something for dads? I mean, this is perfect for that market. Hence the grillin' and chillin' comment that I referenced earlier.
You have to do this with your arm when you say that, by the way. You have to do this whenever you say that.
But action there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is true. It is. It's the New Balance of bikes, and I am obsessed with it for that. You've got the dad shoe, and now you got the dad bike.
I also wanted to ask you, Michael, did you come across this? Because, I have multiple bikes in the, surprise, in the Super 73 lineup. And when I'd invite, because we had people come over, you go on group rides when we had guests over. And, I had the Z, and I'd say, hey, here, why don't you take the Z? And, I'd see guys that were even my size. I'm not a big dude. I'm about like 5'8.5", 170. But I had friends that are, like over 200 pounds and bigger dudes. They're like, yeah, I don't think that bike will carry me. It's a smaller bike. I don't think. So you had people with the previous generation maybe stopping because, well, they thought, I don't know if it could support me, even though I think the original Z was rated at like 250 pounds. I mean, it wasn't like a lightweight bike at all, solid, and it had a strong motor, but you had people that were sort of hesitant, right? But now you take away that. It seems like you took away every stop for people that could say, why to not get a Z?
No, I
you
took
took away.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Now it's like, it's as viable as any bike in the lineup, basically, with all the features.
Absolutely. And that was kind of a big part. And the Z is, it's kind of clearly named for the generation we designed that original one for. The Super 73Z for us was like, hey, this is our answer to Gen Z. It's a cheaper alternative option. It allows you the cool of Super 73. You say entry level and price point, it really was entry level. And so, to kind of be building upon this line and see Z transform into something a little bit more for everyone is really exciting for all of us here. And I know that a lot of the employees here are chomping at the bit to get a chance to buy this bike as well, because it does fit a lot of the needs. It is a little bit lighter than our other bikes. It's a little more compact. It still allows for that cool Super 73 feel, but without the commitment of having a high performance electric bike.
Well, go ahead, Mark. Yeah.
So the original Z was available in several colors. What are we looking at in terms of availability of colors, in terms of availability to actually purchase, and the price?
Right. So we do have two colors launching with the ZX. We have this really cool kind of space gray, and then we have this bone white that is an off-white. It's kind of modeled after that trendy current sort of monochromatic sort of I don't want to say Tacoma gray, but that's what it is. I think, you've seen the Tacoma that's that off-white rolling around. It's that same sort of color. And so we really tried to, again, meet the consumer where they are, what they're riding, what they enjoy color-wise. It's not as vibrant as the other ones, but it still has quite a bit of flair, as well as a ton of customizable space. So we do have a lot of accessories launching with this bike that you're going to see roll out over the next 2 weeks. Accessories we've never been able to offer before, which are exciting. Everything from bars to molly panels to pegs,
Cool.
grips, pedals. There's a whole suite of accessories coming out for this thing. And the price point is under $2,000. So we're able to bring this bike in at introductory pricing starts at $1,995. We do have a ton of financing options available as well. And then the initial launch, what's kind of fun and a little bit confusing, so I'm going to try to be very clear about this. The initial launch bike has a few little tweaks. So instead of the black rim strips, the rim liners that you see on the back tire right there, inside you're going to get a red or a white variant, depending on the bike you order. That's going to be available on our site. And then after batch number 1, we have tire variants coming in. So batch number 2, which will land in a couple of weeks, will actually have a drop-down menu with a couple of tire options. They're both very, very similar in their design and their look. but they do just offer a little bit of a different aesthetic feel. So this bike is coming with a suite of options to make it your own, like right out the get-go.
So I don't know. So I don't know if you're able to talk about this yet, but in terms of when people can actually go on their computer, start ordering, and when they may be starting to receive bikes, any idea about that yet, or is it still too early?
Yeah, so we currently have inventory in stock. So this.
I'm sorry. What was that?
That was get in your car and drive, Mitchell.
Yeah.
I said
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
There's a small and genuinely, and I hate that this happens, but I think we'll probably sell out in about 7 minutes of batch 1. But good news is batch 2 is about 2 weeks behind it. Batch 3 is another 2 weeks behind that. So we really should be able to have that summer inventory. We are promising today that the bikes are definitely going to start shipping in July. I think we've kind of thrown around mid-July as a very conservative launch time, and I know the production is going to be annoyed at me for even saying that, but we do have inventory landed that is in the fulfillment centers. And so what we want to do, obviously we can't ship them immediately upon order, and that's only because we want to make sure that everything is as it should be. There's a couple extras you get with the launch edition bikes that we wanted to include. So there's a few little kind of knickknacks you're getting that are going to be like a really special thank you for jumping on these early orders. And so those are going to be packaged in as well. So we do have them in stock. They will be shipping within 4 weeks of them being ordered. And then, beyond that, we're going to have inventory, which anybody who's been with the company knows that it's tough to keep inventory on these bikes because they go so fast. That's why we have these batches staggering week after week to land. So as long as everything stays clear at the port, we're not going to have an issue.
Well, I think a lot of people also know, and in this, COVID and, hopefully veering right now into post-COVID times, man, and this is what we talk about this on the show. I talk about the friends and family, the expectation why there are no Xboxes or PlayStations on the shelves, why it's hard to get an NVIDIA video, graphics card, not just because of the people that are using bots to buy all these things, excuse me, but it's hard. There's not a lot of chips available right now. Freight shipping all over the world is slow. So, and it might be this way for another year. So the fact that you guys have the bikes that are coming in, you have multiple shipments coming in, this is huge. So Michael, I just want to make sure I have all the takeaways here. The new ZX, bigger, better, stronger, faster, more comfortable, more features, more accessible, available to order, and more coming in all the time. This is, I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
I'm sold.
I've got a question. Will you ship to Canada?
That's something we're working on right now. It's really, really tricky border protocol. So we've got some big Canada plans for 2021, and I'd love to chat with you offline about that. But I may be visiting you very soon. So stay tuned for that. I know that we have dealers and distributors there. I think we're working out final certification for these in Canada. They are certified Class 2 e-bikes as everything we sell. So we're going to be able to sell in Europe as well. We're selling worldwide, and these are street legal to ride. There's a lot of gray area in the e-bike culture right now. We are not part of that gray area. So we try to, obviously make that very important to our riders as well as our company, that we want to be selling legal products. So, regulations like Canada slow things down a little bit, but we're moving and we're pretty stoked about it.
Do you have to call it the Z because it's in Canada?
What, is that's
what you
say?
That's what they say Z.
Yeah, it's a whole Z. It's
crazy.
Like 0 and O. We're really confusing things here.
But you say X the right way, right?
Yeah, well, is there another way to say X?
Well, apparently there's another way to say Z, so it's not a crazy question mark. We'll call it the ZX. How about this? We'll call it the Super73-ZX. We'll have a new name for it. What do you think?
Go to the copywriters, see what they come up with.
I got to call a website. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gosh, I'm not going to send it to the copywriters.
How about this? You can start rolling and trolling in your new ZX in Canada.
On that note, goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever. Michael, thank you so much for making this intro here on the show. If you guys are watching on YouTube or, of course, listening to the show live, head on over to super73.com and pick it up before, supplies last.
I'm genuinely. Yeah, no, and for real. I mean, it is while supplies last, but we are constantly going to be getting more inventory, and I'm genuinely
That's
so
awesome.
grateful for the two of you being able to launch the Spike here. On launch day is really important, and we're really, the whole company is grateful for everything you guys have put us on to. So thank you so much for your time.
Well,
It is
we
our
love
pleasure.
you guys. We love having, and thank you for coming back so quickly and sharing this with our audience. So this is like a bit of a scoop for us. So we're going to, you know what? We're going to let you go. We know you're busy. Michael Cannavo, co-founder, man behind Super 73. Go back to work. We will start posting this video so that all of your fans can see this and start ordering it right now. And we can't wait to have you back very soon again, I hope, when the next product launches, because you guys are always coming up with new stuff to give the audience.
Well, thank you guys. I will be back soon.
You've been tuned in to Your Tech Report.